I can't believe that I'm actually doing this, but I decided I need to hop on the train. I am being completely original, and today I've decided to do 100 days in Minecraft. If you couldn't already tell by the background, it's a little different than other videos. I'm doing 100 days in the oldest Minecraft version. I don't want to waste much of your guys' time, so real quick, I just want to say thank you so much to Luke the Notable for creating this trend, and I'd like to thank my boy Calvin so much for inspiring me to actually hop on this trend. I want to do something that's also different from the rest of these 100 days, and randomly throughout this video my friends will be commentating different days, so be on the lookout for that. But without further ado, let's hop on the day one.
Day 1 starts off by showing you guys the Minecraft screen and just how different it is compared to the later versions. Honestly, it's crazy to think how far Minecraft has come. From there, Assassin continues to do the normal stuff like getting wood, and when he wants to make the crafting table, he realized that in this version you can't even drag to click like in the later versions. You gotta place the wood one by one, which is crazy, and on top of that, you can't move items into your hotbar with numbers, so you gotta drag it over to the slot that you want. It's honestly really tedious. This was just the first of many things that are so weird about this version. He tried killing some sheep for food and wool, but then soon remembered that sheep didn't drop any food, so he was only getting wool and XP from them. From there, he progressed, mining some cobblestone, upgrading to stone tools, and made a furnace, and then he went off to find some food. A lot of cows got slaughtered, but finally he found some food. It was also worth mentioning that in this version you can't shift click into furnaces either. The sun was setting, so the best decision was to sleep and end my first day out of 100.
On day 2, I wasted no time. I picked up all my stuff and I went to look for a good place to settle down. I didn't even know I could sprint in this version until I accidentally double tapped W, which I forgot was even a thing, but now I know how to sprint. I found some chickens and I slaughtered them because I needed the food. I wanted to keep exploring, but when I got over the mountain, all I saw was snow for what seemed to be forever. So I decided I was going to make a house right in the middle of the mountains. I mined some more cobblestone for my house, and I ended up finding a cave while doing so. Although on this day I didn't do much in it, besides to just grab some coal. But I grabbed the rest of the cobblestone I needed and went back to camp. I finished up on my stairs, and when I went to make the doors, I realized that, it's not like the new versions where you craft 3 doors, but no, you craft a singular door. I went to collect some more trees, and I saw the sun was setting, which means this was the end of my day. Day 3 was just another house building day. I really wanted to finish the floor, so I decided to collect more wood, and as I was doing so, I looked and I saw there's actually a desert biome across the water, which is perfect because I needed glass, so I'll definitely hit that later on. I finished the floor and was working on the walls before I ran out of more wood, so I figured this would be the perfect time to collect some sand. So I grabbed my bed and went over in the same direction, grabbed a bunch of wood first, and then after grabbing all the wood, I hopped on my boat, which was pretty slow and ended up breaking anyway, but I made it over to the desert biome and grabbed about 2 stacks of sand. And no, you're not wrong. Yes, sand sounds like dirt. I explored a little bit more to see what was around here, and I saw there was a nice plains biome, which I kind of wish I built my house in, but I was already dedicated to the mountain area, so I just had to move on. I saw some cows, and I gave them some big hugs, and then I went to sleep. On day 4, I got really lucky and I found a cave. In that cave, I happened to find enough iron to make a full set of iron, but I got scared because there were so many mobs in there, so I ended up leaving the cave. After getting back up to the surface, I found a lava pool, and after making a lackluster attempt at making a portal, I realized I didn't have enough flint yet, so I just went to sleep because I'm scared of the night. Day 5, I crafted the rest of my iron armor, made a flint and steel, and attempted to light the portal, but something wasn't right. I made the portal too big. I then proceeded to make it correctly and then mark the coordinates of it before going back home. When I got home, I made a chest, worked on making glass, and finished my walls. After doing that, I made some glass panes, placed them down, and went to sleep. Day 6 was a disappointing day, to be honest. I finished the windows and did some construction on the roof. I made the corners look better, and then I went in a different direction to collect some wood. I went in the direction of the huge snow biome, thinking after a while, maybe it'll run into a different biome, but it was just snow. And snow and more snow. So I collected some of the wood that was out there and I just made my way back. When I got back, it was already night, so I just went inside and went to sleep.
Days 7 through 10 was another exploring time. Assassin finished his house, made some extra tools, and then wasted no time going straight into the nether. He explored through the nether for a while until he was finally able to find the nether fortress. After a bit more exploring through the fortress, he found a blaze spawner and decided to grind some blaze rods for a bit. After managing to grind 13 blaze rods, he made his way back home. Also, a cool thing to mention is that on his way back, he found an enderman and got his very first ender pearl.
Day 11, I wanted to make a potion room in my basement, so I made a temporary stairway down and I started to flatten out the land under my base. I wanted to get creative with what blocks I had access to in this version, so I made some cobblestone and I smelted it. I placed down the soul sand and nether wart, and I planned to make the room at the nether, but I didn't know if I would like that too much, so I just decided to keep it for now. On day 12, I decided that instead of stairs, a nice ladder system would look really nice. But the one problem I ran into is that I was out of materials, so I was gonna have to go material gathering. I have some saplings though, so I planted those next to my house. And luckily in this version, bone meal grows instantly, so I was able to get about half a stack of logs before I ran out of my bone meal. I placed on the rest, and for now my wood issue is solved, but now I need to gather some more cobblestone, which means I need it to mine. And one thing I wanted to do was make a whole mine anyway, so I decided to make a mine right near my house. So I mined for a bit, I got some iron, and when I looked back up, it was getting dark. So I decided to call it wraps there.
On day 13, Assassin still needed more materials, so he went to the mine again. He returned home and smelted a bunch of cobblestone, and while doing that, after some failed attempts, he crafted a brewing stand. He went ahead and made an area to place it down, and made an infinite water source. Wow! After that, he went ahead and filled in the rest of the floor, made some double chests, and filled in more of the walls to finish off the day. The end.
Day 14, I just worked on the basement more. I replaced the stone brick under the brewing stand with some slabs and then waited for everything to smelt. And on day 15, most of that day was spent AFK in the furnace. But I finally finished the basement. I wanted to test out the potions since I didn't know much about them, so I made the blaze powder and wanted to see what it made me. This was sick because I knew this was going to aid me in the final battle. I wanted to play with more stuff, and I remember glowstone does something to like affect the potions, so I put it in the brewing stand and my strength potions turned from strength 1 to strength 2. On day 16, I realized I really needed food, so I was going to need to farm some animals. But in order to lure the animals, I would need wheat, so I decided to make a tiny wheat farm. I started to grab some sheep, but then I forgot they just don't drop food in this version. On day 17, while looking for cows, I found out in this version that chickens actually like wheat. But the chicken I had died. Rest in peace. I found some cows and led them to the cage. Once I got them, I killed the rest of the sheep and bred the cows. Then I went to the sugarcane farm. I placed down half of what I collected and turned the rest into sugar. From there, I made some speed 2 potions. And when it came to nighttime, I found out that living next to cows is the worst thing.
On day number 18, the crops were going to take a while to grow, so Assassin decided to mine. While mining, he found a cave and he made a little staircase and explored it. The cave was giant and he got tons of iron from it, so he decided to upgrade all his stone tools to iron, and all the way through day 19, he kept mining. He got tons of gold, redstone, and even some diamonds. He almost lost everything though when he was knocked into lava by a zombie, but somehow he survived. And after getting the diamonds, he left the cave.
Day 20, I started to smelt and place torches on the roof. I had some gold and redstone, so I decided to make a clock so I could tell time. You guys probably forgot clocks were even in this game, huh? I then used the bones I got from skeletons to bone meal the wheat farm and expand it. I bred some more cows, and I made a fishing rod because I planned to fish at some point. And just to add on, I decided to make a tiny little dock. I was completely just done with the cows, so I built a barn and I moved all the cows into there. On day 21, I started collecting more stone to work on my roof. While smelting, I used some of the cobble to start placing stairs in my mine. Once I did that, I decided to try fishing for the rest of the day, but I only caught one fish that whole time. And on day 22, I spent the whole day mining to collect cobblestone materials for my roof. Day 23, I did more mining because I needed more cobblestone. And on day 24, I started placing the rest of the stairs that I had. I finally finished the roof and I had some glass up there because I realized it could actually make a really nice attic. On day 25, I made the ladders look a little bit nicer and I started to put some chests in the attic. I spent the whole rest of this day moving my chests into the attic. Day 26, I had a brilliant idea to add some defenses to my house. In order for this to work though, I'll need to take a nice adventure to the snowy tundra. I got a bunch of snow and I made some snow golems. I made 2 of them and they would be the protectors of my home. And then I spent the rest of the evening fishing and I caught 2 fish this time. On day 27, I decided that this should be the day that I try to get an enchantment table, so I used 3 out of my 4 diamonds to make a diamond pickaxe and I decided to mine. The whole day I mined, I didn't find a single diamond, so that sucks, but I have this in my notes where apparently I got a music disc, so that's something cool. On day 28, I made some new tools, placed down the stairs, and I went right back to mining. I finally found some diamonds, so I ended up having enough to make the enchantment table. Found some obsidian and got enough to make an enchanting table. Day 29, I had to look up how to make a book because it was different than, what it is today, but I finally made one. And then from there, I made my enchanting table. For the room, I decided to use where I originally had the cows to house the enchanting table. I wanted to change the design at some point, but for now, stone brick will do. The whole day was spent me working on the enchanting room and adding some bookshelves. On day 30, I continued working on the enchanting room. I wanted to actually get more obsidian because I feel like it can make my build look much more diverse. I got some obsidian and I placed it in the pattern to where the bookshelves were going to be. On day 31, I made some more bookshelves and placed them down. I finished up the enchanting room and I added some obsidian around because I added a really nice touch to it. Once I was done, I did some more of the common tasks around the house, farming sugarcane, expanding the wheat farm, breed the cows, chop down the trees, and I was placing slabs on top of the enchanting room, and I realized it looked really nice, and I figured I could do something with it later, so I decided to just leave the slabs on the logs for now. On day 32, I wanted to work on finishing on the bookshelf, so I planted some more trees, and while waiting for the sugarcane, I fished. But I started to understand that fishing really is just randomized, and I ended off the day catching 4 fish. On day 33, I instantly went to get more cows because I needed the food. I then harvested some more sugarcane, placed some more bookshelves, and now it's almost a level 30 table. The sugarcane needed to grow and I knew I needed levels for the enchanting table, so I decided I was going to start construction on a mob grinder. I grabbed some materials and I started construction. All this continued into day 34 where I was continuing construction on the mob grinder. I got a decent amount of it done, and most of it, mind you, is being done off of my memory, so I'd say I'm doing pretty decent, but I was going to need more cobblestones. But before getting some cobblestone, I decided I was going to get the rest of the sugarcane, make some more bookshelves, and realized I was almost completely done. On day 35, I made another iron pickaxe, enchanted it, and got to mining. I got some cobblestone and I finished up the floors of the grinder.
Assassin didn't get it on recording, but he almost died to a creeper when going into the enchanting room. So we went and lit it up and then went back to getting some more cobblestone to finish the mob grinder. It's a very scary tunnel. He mined for literally the whole day.
And on day 37, we went back to the mob grinder construction. We got good progress done and we finished the walls and almost the roof. I was excited to finish the roof. I was speed bridging while doing it. When I went to get more cobblestone, I died. Even though I jumped in the water, it just didn't make sense to me at all. So personally, I'm not counting this as a death, but from here on out, any death doesn't matter if I'm not counting it is a true death. But I finished the rest of the roof. Day 38, I mined. Well, in my mine, I found a cave, and while mining, I found some diamonds. When I got home, I used all the diamonds I got, and I crafted my first diamond piece. On day 39, I went back to working on the roof, and I finished it. I lit up the roof and the floor around it. So proud of what I did. On day 40, I AFK'd on the roof the whole day to see how many mobs spawned. At the end of the day, I went down to see, and one spider fell down. That was it. Day 41, I was sad. I felt defeated, but I finished the enchanting table. I needed to get my mind off of my failure because it was hurting me the whole day. So I decided I was going to work on some redstone. I made a redstone door going into the enchanting room. I was working on this redstone door until day 42. And it was finally working, but it just looked so ugly. So I made some paintings to cover up all the redstone and all that stuff, and it looked perfect.
Assassin realized that his netherwart farm wasn't growing and assumed it was because he wasn't in the same chunk as it. He decided to just AFK on this day. After some AFKing, he came back, but to his surprise, didn't grow at all and was wondering if it had something to do with him still not being in the same chunk. So on day 44, he tried AFKing again, but right on netherwart. Even after standing on netherwart, when he came back, there was still no growth. He did some googling and he read that placing lava under soul sand would make it go faster though, so that was going to be the plan for the next day.
Day 45, I set out to find the lava pool from a while ago to get some lava. I got the lava and placed that lava under my soul sand. On day 46, after doing some extensive research, I found out you can only grow netherwart in the nether in this version. So I grabbed some materials to build a nether portal in my base. I messed up again, then I got it right. So I got rid of all the lava under my netherwart form, picked up my soul sand and netherwart and moved it to the nether. When I tried going back through the portal though, it took me somewhere completely different. But I looked at my cords and I was pretty close to where I was, so I wasn't too worried. So I just made my way back home. On day 47, I combined the iron I had in my inventory plus the stack of iron in my chest and made a whole new iron set. You know the reason why? I just felt like it. And from there, I decided I was gonna plan the biggest mining trip I have done yet. I made many iron pickaxes and then I just mined. My goal was by the end of this trip to get full diamond and tools. And that's what I did. Day 48 through 59, I mined. I just mined. Mining on this version is incredibly hard, but at first I thought I was super lucky because I mined 2 different sets of diamonds very close to each other. But I continued my mining trip, and I can say happily that by the end of it, I had full diamond and even some more. Day 60 was the day I made my full set of diamond armor, and it felt so good. As I was putting stuff away, I realized I had already made a diamond chestplate though. So I look kind of dumb now, but I have an extra chestplate, so I guess that's something. I ignored it and went to smelt everything and proceeded to work on the wheat farm. While collecting the wheat farm, I realized the mob farm just started working. I don't know how, but I started to grind the resources, and the main thing I was looking for was arrows for the end fight. I also watched my cows bug out. It was kind of interesting. On day 61, I AFK'd the full day to see if my mob farm would actually work. And I went down, and it was sick because actually it worked. But unfortunately, a creeper blew up, so I had to fix it. But it wasn't anything too serious. But somehow, this skeleton shot me on the way down. Yeah, that's scary. Since I knew that AFK actually worked, day 62 through 65, I AFK'd because I needed the XP badly because I had no level 30 enchants. To put it in perspective, this was a whole hour of just AFKing. I came back on night 65. And when I went to check, there's basically no mobs. So I guess I realized that AFKing just isn't worth it because I assume the mobs just despawn after a certain bit. Day 66, I realized I needed to start collecting ender pearls because I needed ender eyes to put in the ender portal. So during the night, I collected resources for arrows, and I realized one of my snow golems died. It's a very sad case. I added pumpkins to my farm and made another snow golem. I spent the rest of the day while the sun was up collecting flint and trying to find some chickens for feathers, but chickens are very hard to find for no apparent reason. Once night hit, it was enderman hunting time. Also worth mentioning that a lot of creepers blew up during this night. I found out one of my snowmen died again, and I got 3 ender pearls.
On day 67, Assassin found a huge group of chickens and made a bunch of arrows. He made almost 2 stacks of arrows and felt really comfortable with it. He enchanted a diamond sword and got sharpness on it. Knowing he wasn't going to get a lot of levels, he decided to break all the bookshelves to make enchanting easier. Once it hit night, it was time to slaughter some endermen. 2 of the snowmen got killed during the night though, and it was really sad. Believing that this last snowman would survive, he named him Melvin the Snowman. Melvin? Why Melvin? It's literally a dumb name, but whatever.
On day 68, I worked on replanting the trees, and then I literally just waited for night. But with just my luck, it rained, so I literally couldn't get any ender pearls, so I just slept. Day 69, I found an enderman in my basement, and after chasing it for a bit, it dropped an ender pearl. Since it was day 69, I only thought there was only one way to celebrate. After that, I went to visit the netherwart, and found out none of it grew. I didn't care anymore. I just started gearing up because this end fight will happen very soon. I went back home and I decided to make some strength 1 pots that lasted 8 minutes just in case it went that long. On top of that, I also made some speed potions that lasted 8 minutes. When night came, you better best believe I was enderman hunting. On day 70, I decided I wanted to find the stronghold right now. I wanted to get the cords of it and see how many ender eyes I exactly needed for it. And finally, I reached it. Luckily in this version, it takes me straight to the end room as well. I placed down some of the eyes that I already made and realized that I only needed 6 more. So I marked down the chords and I went home. Day 71, I knew what I needed to do. I needed 6 more ender eyes before my battle, so I just needed to get my loadout. I got all the cooked food I can, all the blocks I can, I made more arrows, and I enchanted a set of iron just in case my diamond breaks. During the night, I got 3 ender pearls, and on day 72, I made another diamond sword and enchanted it with sharpness. I then AFK'd the whole night because I just wanted to get to the end as fast as I could because I didn't know how long this fight was going to take. During the night, I collected all the ender pearls I needed, and I got the very final pearl as the sun rose on day 73.
Day 73. Assassin had to make it back to the stronghold. He placed down the eyes of Ender and just took a few seconds to look around the scenery. Without wasting any time, he proceeds to enter the end. The fight was long and hard, but I'm not trying to commentate over it, so here's a little montage of the fight. The end fight lasted till day 85. Landing the bow shots were harder than you may think, but this 12-day fight finally came to an end with the final bow shot.
I finally did it. I beat the game. I beat the Ender Dragon. No. I beat Minecraft in version 1.0, but I have 15 more days left. What do I do with 15 more days? There's only one thing left to do, honestly. Fish! The only thing left to do is fish. I fished for 15 days straight. I fished and I fished and I fished to become the best fisher around. And on that note, that is the end to 100 days in version 1.0, Minecraft's oldest version. This was such a fun thing to do. and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below if you guys want me to do 200 days or if you have other 100-day requests, but that is the end. I want to give a shout out to everyone that was featured in this video. All of them are going to be in the description below. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter and join my public Discord. And now I say farewell.